There's a reason most people never catch a cheater until it's too late. They're not looking for the right signs. They're distracted by the emotional chaos, words, excuses, and reassurances, while missing the deeper behavioral patterns that give everything away. An affair doesn't start with passion. It starts with small shifts, tiny cracks in routine, language, and body language that reveal a hidden truth. And the FBI's top behavioral profilers know one thing very well. When someone is hiding something, their mind betrays them long before their words do. Every move becomes part of a psychological pattern, carefully controlled but never perfect. Today, I'll reveal 5 shocking signs, rooted in behavioral science, that your partner may be hiding an affair. The first sign is a sudden and unexplained shift in emotional rhythm. When someone is loyal, their emotional energy feels predictable. You know when they're stressed, happy, tired, or affectionate. But when guilt enters the equation, that emotional rhythm breaks. One day they're overly attentive, showering you with affection, and the next, they're emotionally cold, detached, or distracted. That inconsistency is not about mood, it's about control. A guilty mind can't maintain emotional consistency. FBI profilers call it behavioral leakage, when someone's internal conflict spills into their body language and tone without their awareness. So when your partner's warmth feels forced or their affection feels misplaced, pay attention. That's not love changing, it's loyalty shifting. The second sign is an obsession with privacy disguised as independence. Before the affair, they might have left their phone on the couch, their notifications open, their devices unguarded. But now, everything changes subtly. They tilt their screen when texting, keep their phone face down, or take it to the bathroom. They'll justify it by saying they value personal space, that everyone deserves privacy. But what you're really seeing is a boundary built from fear, not self-respect. FBI behavioral experts note that liars often anchor their defense in logic. They create explanations that sound reasonable, so you question your intuition. But here's the truth. Emotional privacy doesn't suddenly become a priority in an honest relationship. It becomes a shield when deception begins. The third sign is rehearsed normalcy. When someone is hiding an affair, they overcompensate by acting too normal. They anticipate your suspicions before you even ask. They laugh more than usual, initiate conversations they normally wouldn't, and remember small details to seem engaged. It feels off, even if you can't articulate why. This is called preemptive impression management, a psychological tactic to maintain innocence by performing the version of themselves you expect. They're not being natural, they're acting. Their laughter doesn't feel spontaneous, their stories sound practiced, and their eyes hesitate when they speak. Profiler training teaches that the guilty rehearse their innocence because they're afraid of being caught unprepared. And that fear creates an unnatural rhythm in their daily behavior. Everything feels slightly scripted. The fourth sign is micro-expressions of guilt and avoidance. This is one of the most subtle indicators, yet it's the most reliable. When you bring up topics related to trust, fidelity, or emotional honesty, watch their body language, not their words. Do they avert their eyes quickly? Touch their face or neck mid-conversation? Do they deflect by turning the conversation toward you instead? Those reactions happen subconsciously. According to profiler studies, guilt produces physiological responses that no one can fully control. Small dilations in the eyes, defensive postures, or forced smiles meant to mask discomfort. When someone is hiding an affair, even innocent questions feel threatening. So they deflect, joke, or rush to change the subject. It's not just defensiveness. It's the body trying to escape emotional exposure. The fifth sign is emotional projection. When someone is carrying guilt, they start accusing you of the very things they're doing. They'll say you're being distant, untrustworthy, or hiding something. They might claim you've changed, or that you're the reason the relationship feels off. It's not logic, it's psychological displacement. The mind can't carry guilt comfortably, so it projects it onto the nearest target, you. This tactic, consciously or not, gives them temporary relief. They flip the narrative so they don't have to face the weight of their own deception. And while you're busy defending yourself, they quietly continue hiding. FBI profilers recognize projection as a top behavioral defense mechanism, an emotional sleight of hand meant to redirect attention. If you suddenly find yourself being accused of things that make no sense, stop explaining and start observing. You're being distracted from the truth. When these 5 signs, emotional inconsistency, privacy obsession, rehearsed normalcy, micro-expressions of guilt, and projection, start appearing together, it's rarely coincidence. It's behavioral evidence of an emotional double life. Cheating isn't just a moral act, it's a psychological pattern. The brain that carries deception is constantly managing 2 realities, the one they live and the one they perform. That split causes tension, exhaustion, and anxiety, and eventually, it starts leaking through their behavior. Dr. Alina Rose often says, "Deception doesn't survive stillness." When things go quiet, when the questions stop, when the chase ends, that's when their mask begins to slip. The guilty partner feels unsafe in calmness because stillness exposes truth. That's why cheaters create noise. They argue, deflect, over-explain, or start small fights. It's a distraction, not a coincidence. Their nervous system is trying to hide guilt under chaos. Now here's the truth every man should understand. You don't need to become paranoid or obsessive to find the truth. You only need awareness. The human body, voice, and energy never lie for long. People who hide affairs rely on your emotional blindness, your love, your trust, your habit of forgiveness. They manipulate your empathy because they know you'll doubt yourself before you'll doubt them. But when you learn to read energy instead of words, everything becomes clear. So stop chasing explanations. Don't argue. Don't beg for honesty. Watch their patterns. The truth doesn't hide in words. It hides in consistency. When someone's energy no longer matches their story, that's your evidence. And the most powerful move you can make isn't confrontation. It's calm detachment. When you stop reacting, they lose control. Because a liar's greatest fear isn't being questioned, it's being quietly observed. Dr. Alina Rose teaches that truth reveals itself to those who can stay calm long enough to see it. So when you sense the signs, when the behavior shifts, when the energy feels off, don't rush to uncover the secret. Stay still. Let the silence expose it. Because the guilty always reveal themselves in time, not through confession, but through the weight of their own performance. Your job isn't to prove betrayal, it's to protect your peace. The moment you stop searching for evidence and start trusting your intuition, you step into power. Because the eyes may lie, the words may lie, but energy never does.